Hello everyone, welcome back to Rebel Brick. This is kind of a blast from the past. This is an older Arctic Explorer exploration set. I don't remember the number for this anymore. I don't see any bumper stickers, so I really don't know offhand. This was a bigger set, and I don't remember how many years ago this is actually from. So for that I do apologize. I don't even know. I very well might have the booklet for this, but I think it's so far buried and probably at the bottom of the box. I don't know where it is. It is a little dusty. This has been sitting in a drawer. I used to have it out, but it is what it is. So it is kind of an interesting setup because we have one lead vehicle that can essentially pull everything else. We do actually have the connectors here, so if I wanted to, I could disconnect this, fold that up, and then this is actually being pulled by, I'll move that out of the way, by this, and he's going backwards. So I could actually have him turned around in there and drive, or I can have him here. I don't know what they would need this big old blade to actually kind of try and dig up. But we have a nice big digging blade for some reason, and it's just Technic pieces here. So we could actually kind of cut things up if we wanted to. Trying to get this back to where we had it. There, like that. So we have the big old knobby tires. We do have a driver inside, and he's all dressed up for cold weather gear. I'll just kind of leave him in there. And actually, apparently I didn't need to take the back part off because that all came together. It's been a while. This has all been sitting in one of my Lego drawers that I have here. So so there we are. Kind of a nice simple set. I mean, the fact that you could use it for exploring anything in the cold. It is a nice bright colors, so you can find everything, presumably in the snowy white weather. The trailer here for hauling our big digger here, that works out pretty good. If I remember correctly, actually thinking about this, I think this actually had like my mastodon in that, and I do have the mastodon. If I can find it real quick, let's see. I think there it is. Alright, so we have a mastodon. I believe there was one with a saber-toothed tiger, and I have a saber-toothed tiger in ice somewhere, as well as I think there was a mouse. As my mind is trying to put all this together as we run through this, there was a mouse stuck in ice. There was a saber-toothed tiger stuck in ice. And then here we have the mastodon. So with these sets being what they are, this is meant to be able to fall away, and then you could actually pull the mastodon out if you wanted to. Nice big ivory tusks here from the mastodon. Has a little extra woolliness underneath there, as well as up on top. Does have spots. We could have two people riding if you wanted to make this as part of your whatever Lego zoo, or maybe a circus or something. But if I can get this back on there, trying to get it to line up with the studs there. Okay, and I'm saying them correctly tonight, so obviously my mind is not too far gone. So we do have, they have the Explorer sets out now, but the ones that they have are more of the, I get a sneezing bunny, the ones that they have out now are more the Arctic water exploration vehicles. So they have the big boat out, and they have the submarine. I had picked up the smaller boat, and I had the small little snowmobile, so that was kind of neat. And I was thinking about maybe getting another snowmobile because I kind of like the seals that they had. And I like the animals. I really like having the animals. I think it brings out a lot of extra stuff. This is their little mobile base. So I'm trying to remember. I know this opens up. And looking at that, here we are. So we have people in here. So we do have a bed up here, all dusty as could be, but we do have a bed. So that way they can rest and take turns, and I can't get them in there right. It is just a little 2x4, and in all it's a 2x6 with some white here. They have a little station here. Try and get this so you can see. This guy can come out, and he's got goggles and all that. So I think he had another, like a four-wheeler or something, having the goggles on there. The face was pretty good, I believe. You have a young lady actually looking at the print just on the single side there. She's got like a little phone or a GPS or walkie-talkie or something here on her belt. So, you know, this is from a couple years ago. And we also had like a workstation on the inside. And on this side it also has like another TV or so. Looks like another young lady in there. She's studying the bone. Has some sort of microscope or something in there. So that was kind of interesting. Little radar dish so they could try and keep in contact with everybody else that they need to keep in contact with. And then we have this big boy. So here we have a crane. Oops, and I lift the crane up and off because I'm not paying attention to what it is. Alright, so the crane actually lifts up. So it's got the Technic pieces in there, so I can lift this up, and it does swing around, which is what I was trying to do when old dummy old me, I pulled the whole thing off. And then this should extend out here, and it doesn't go very far. I knew it extended out, I just didn't know how far. So it gives us a little bit of an opportunity, something to play with, something to have some fun with. Trying to get all this together is kind of interesting. I know when I was kind of going through all this stuff years ago, especially with the Star Wars, it was amazing me more on how much Technic is going into a lot of the regular builds that we do today than we ever had when I was a kid. So when I was a kid, you know, we had just a car was a car. There was no Technic pieces in there or whatever. It was very simple builds, and I know I'm getting old, so that doesn't help. That all lifts up, and we have a driver in here. We have some space in the back. So as this is all flipped around here, try and help you look inside. So we have controls here for our crane, and we have our driver, and of course he's got a cup for probably some hot cocoa. And he's got some other gauges here and gauges on this side. And the odd thing is, now I've mentioned before I live in Wisconsin. We were down in Madison over the summer for one of my daughters for a doctor's appointment, and we went to the zoo. And my youngest daughter shaking her head, nope, so is my oldest daughter. And they literally had a big old beefed up vehicle like this that they had actually taken down to Antarctica, and it was more or less a bus. And on the inside they had different fossils and that for some of the other zoo exhibits. So having something built up like this is very reminiscent as to what we actually use in real life. So to see a build like this and to think that, you know, we're doing this because we need the nice big tires to go over all that ice and everything else, and that is a very true to real world. And having the ladders here so people can get in and out, they very much need those. But this is what we have here, and I know I have some helicopters. If I grab it down, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put it back up. Give me a second here and I can grab it quick. Because this is all going along with that same theme that they had at the time. And of course, me being my silly self. Now this is stuff that, you kind of get interested in. And boy, is this sucker dusty. I have had this hanging up from the ceiling, so I really do apologize. Yeah. All right, so this is a very dusty helicopter. I guess it would kind of make some sort of sense here for today's to say it was some ice or snow or something like that, but yeah, it's a lot of dust. This is a very interesting build to say that we have 4 rotor blades. A lot more like what we have for our drones and everything else. Stuff that we're doing more today than ever before. This does have a crane winch on the bottom. So that's what this is for. This is for a crane winch. So I can extend that out. I can reel that back in. I don't really have much in cargo area. That's all a solid piece back here. I do have a spot so I can try and get the pilot out, of course. So I do have the one pilot. But everything else is really well taken up by the Technic piece here for a winch, and then that's all empty in the back. Which does make it nice so I can kind of hang it from my ceiling here, my drop ceiling. And because I'm in the basement and I have a drop ceiling, I'm using, I don't know what you prefer to call them for wherever you are. I just refer to them as gator clips. And I think I've got this all twisted around. It'll get itself to where it needs to be. Now the fun part is trying to get this back up. Okay. Because when I go to put this all back up, then it's going to be a fun job. But that's fine. Not a big deal. But it is interesting. I mean, you can sit here and say you got four rotor blades, and they are all just slightly offset from each other. So interesting builds, interesting things. Like I said, now that we have the Arctic Ocean Explorer stuff and all that, to have a throwback look to things that we have done in the past. And the things that, I can maybe grab for some of the other stuff that we're going to do. Because taking Kelvin out of our, and I know I'm talking about Kelvin here, taking him out of the factory and I'm putting him in like a G.I. Joe or something like that, that means I get to open up where he gets to go and what he's doing and all that. I'll just borrow vehicles from wherever to suit the situation and have some fun and a little slapstick humor with it all. But this is, like I said, this is a throwback look to some of the things that we've seen Lego do in the past, and I'm sure that if you look around, you'll probably find other people that probably have them all together, and they can tell you all the sets and all that too. But just a quick look. Like I said, I'm just kind of looking at it as, seeing that they're coming out with this stuff and this is something that I had done, and I get a bunny chewing on a box, and that's what I keep hearing going thump. Oh yeah, it's never dull down here in my basement with my bunnies. So alright, well, with that being said, thank you so very much for stopping by and watching today. I hope you have a wonderful day and keep bricking.